Welcome to aminacademy.com. In human anatomy and physiology, let us discuss about basic structure of alimentary canal. The layers of the walls of the alimentary canal follows a consistent pattern from the esophagus onwards. This basic structure does not apply so obviously to the mouth and the pharynx, which are considered later in the videos. In the organs from the esophagus onwards, modifications of structure are found which are associated with specific function. The basic structure is described here, and any modifications in structure and functions are described in appropriate videos. The walls of the alimentary tract are formed by four layers of tissues: adventitia or serosa, outer covering, muscle layer, and submucosa and mucosa lining. Muscle layer with some exemptions. This consists of two layers of smooth muscle. The muscle fibers of the outer layer are arranged longitudinally, and those of the inner layers encircles the walls of tubes. Between these two muscles layers are blood vessels, lymph vessels, and a plexus. That is a networks of sympathetic and parasympathetic nerves called the mysteric plexus. Contraction and relaxation of these muscles layers occurs in waves which push the contents of that tract onwards. Now, further we'll discuss the detail structure of alimentary canal. Look at this alimentary canal. Start with oral cavity, transport passages, and gastrointestinal tract. The basic structure of the alimentary canal is a continuous muscular tube from the mouth to the anus, comprising the mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, and large intestine. It is responsible for the digestion of food, absorption of nutrients, and elimination of waste. Now, let us discuss further detail about the parts. Section of the alimentary canal: mouth, the entry point for food, where mechanical and chemical digestion begin with the help of teeth and saliva. The mouth is the beginning of the alimentary canal, responsible for ingesting food and starting mouth the mechanical and chemical digestion process. Its basic structure includes the oral cavity, which contains the tongue, teeth, and palate, that is hard and sharp. Key functions include chewing, mastication, mixing food with the saliva, and beginning carbohydrate digestion with the enzyme, that is salivary amylase. Next is pharynx. This area is the pharynx. The throat area that serves as a passageway for both food and air. The pharynx or throat is a muscular tube connecting the nasal cavity and mouth to the esophagus and larynx. It is part of both the respiratory and digestive system, serving as a passageway for air and food. The pharynx is divided into three regions: the nasopharynx, that is uppermost, oropharynx, middle, and go pharynx lowest. It is also protected by a lymphoid tissues like the palatine and lingual tonsils and has three layers of muscles for swallowing. If esophagus, a muscular tube that transports food from the pharynx to the stomach through a process called peristalsis. The esophagus is a muscular tube approximately 25 centimeter long that transports food from the pharynx to the stomach. It is located behind the trachea and heart and in front of the spine. Its primary function is to move food through involuntary wave-like muscle contraction called peristalsis. Peristalsis. Next one is stomach. Stomach is a J-shaped organ where food is mixed with digestive juices and broken down further. The stomach is a J-shaped muscular organs in the upper abdomen that receives food from the esophagus. Its structure is defined by four layers of tissues: the mucosa, submucosa, muscularis extrema, and serosa. The stomach's internal lining, the mucosa, contains gastric glands that secrete digestive juices, and the muscularis externa has three layers of muscle to churn food into a liquid mixture called chyme. Small intestine, a long coiled tube where most nutrients absorbed into the bloodstream occurs. The small intestine is the longest part of the alimentary canal, responsible for the majority of nutrients digestion and absorption. Its structure is specialized for this function with three sections: duodenum, jejunum, and ileum, and highly folded inner lining that is covered in villi and microvilli to maximize surface area. It receives enzymes from the pancreas and bile from the liver to complete the digestion of the food. Large intestine absorbs water from the remaining indigestible food matter and transmits the useless waste material from the body. The large intestine is a wide, shorter tube in the human digestive system, approximately 1.5 meters, that is nearly 5 feet long, with key parts including the cecum, colon, rectum, and anal canal. Its primary functions are absorbing water and electrolytes, producing the absorbing vitamins, and forming the and storing phases before elimination. This area. The colon is the largest section and is further divided into the ascending, transverse, and descending and sigmoid colon. Anus, the final section of the digestive tract where waste is eliminated from the body. The anus is the final opening of the alimentary canal, the tube that extends from the mouth to the anus. Its primary function is the elimination of waste, that is feces, from the body. The anus is controlled by two sphincters, an internal involuntary smooth muscles sphincter that relaxes to allow waste to pass, and an external voluntary skeletal muscles, sphincter that allows conscious control over defecation. Accessory organs. The alimentary canal's function is supported by accessory organs that provide enzymes and chemicals to aid digestion: salivary glands, liver, gallbladder, and pancreas. So far, we discussed about human anatomy and physiology in that basic structure of alimentary canal. We have done. Please subscribe our YouTube channel.